Welcome to PMP Exam Express, where we break down PMP exam scenarios to help you pass smarter, faster, and with full confidence. In today's episode, we're diving into one of the most misunderstood roles in Agile, the product owner, and what to do when they become a blocker instead of a leader. From skipping ceremonies to forcing bad prioritization, we'll cover 10 scenario-based PMP questions that test how well you understand Agile mindset, team dynamics, and servant leadership, all of which are fair game on the real PMP exam. Question 1, 2 correct answers. During sprint planning, Priya, product owner, constantly overrides the team's capacity concerns and demands all backlog items be included. What should Naveen, Scrum Master, do? A. Remind Priya that the team determines its own capacity. B. Instruct the team to follow Priya's directives. C. Coach Priya on the importance of sustainable pace. D. Cancel the sprint until agreement is reached. Correct answers, A and C. This question highlights a common Agile conflict, a product owner pushing too much work. Look at the keywords: overrides the team's capacity and demands all items. These are signs of a PO overstepping their role. The correct response is to reinforce the team's right to determine capacity. That's option A. Option C is also critical. Coaching the PO on sustainable pace is part of the Scrum Master's servant leadership. This isn't about conflict, and it's about clarity of roles. Question 2, 1 correct answer. During backlog grooming, Diego, product owner, provides vague user stories and refuses to clarify details. What is the Scrum Master's best action? A. Remove the stories from the sprint backlog. B. Ask the team to estimate based on assumptions. C. Facilitate a conversation between Diego and the team for clarification. D. Proceed with the stories and handle issues during the sprint. Correct answer, C. The keyword here is vague user stories. Agile requires clarity before committing. The best solution is to facilitate a conversation. Option C. This promotes collaboration and gets the product owner re-engaged. Avoid assuming or forcing work in with poor understanding, but that's risky and un-agile. Question 3, 3 correct answers. Lena, product owner, frequently misses sprint reviews and sends last-minute feedback via email. What should the Agile coach do to address this? A. Escalate the issue to senior leadership. B. Invite Lena to discuss the impact of her absence with the team. C. Reinforce the importance of direct stakeholder collaboration. D. Support the team in adjusting feedback workflows. Correct answers, B, C, D. This scenario is about a disengaged PO. Yes, the feedback comes, but it's delayed and detached, violating Agile's principle of fast feedback. Rather than escalating, option A, an Agile coach enables self-awareness and education, inviting the PO to a discussion, B, reinforcing Agile principles, C, and adapting the workflow, D, are all appropriate. Question 4, 1 correct answer. Michael, Scrum Master, observes that the product owner, Tina, keeps adding new stories to the active sprint. What should he do first? A. Allow Tina to make changes as the customer representative. B. Remind Tina that changes mid-sprint disrupt team focus. C. Add the stories only if the team agrees. D. Cancel the sprint and restart. Correct answer, B. This is about scope creep during the sprint. The sprint backlog is owned by the team, and adding new work mid-cycle is not agile. The Scrum Master's role is to protect the team's focus. So the first action is to remind the PO of the Scrum rules. That's B. Question 5. 2 correct answers. The product owner, for IE, consistently prioritizes features that deliver little business value. What should the Agile coach recommend? A. Conduct a value-based prioritization workshop. B. Ask the team to reprioritize the backlog. C. Facilitate a session to align product goals with stakeholders. D. Accept the priorities and deliver anyway. Correct answers, A and C. Here we have misaligned prioritization. The PO is responsible for value delivery, so if the value is low, the Agile coach steps in to realign priorities and stakeholder expectations. Workshops, A, and stakeholder sessions, C, are Agile-friendly and collaborative. Question 6, 1 correct answer. Jill, product owner, refuses to allow the team to split a large user story despite it being too big to complete in one sprint. What should the team do? A. Accept the story and try their best. B. Break the story anyway and deliver part of it. C. Ask the Scrum Master to intervene. D. Push it to the next release. Correct answer, C. The team is blocked by a PO decision that affects delivery. Here, the Scrum Master must step in and coach the PO. It's part of servant leadership. Option C is the correct Agile move. Question 7, 3 correct answers. Shah, product owner, insists on having the final say in estimating story points and frequently overrides the team's estimates. What should be done? A. Educate Shabonga on team-based estimation. B. Encourage the team to stand by their estimates. C. Use planning poker to involve the whole team. D. Allow the PO to decide since he controls the budget. Correct answers A, B, C. This is a classic boundary issue. In Agile, the team owns estimation, not the product owner. The Scrum Master or Agile coach must step in and re-educate and support team independence. Options A, B, and C all respect the Agile mindset and team empowerment. Question 8, 1 correct answer. Sandra, product owner, skips daily stand-ups but insists on delivering long emails with detailed task instructions. What's the best response from the Scrum Master? A. Insist that Sandra attends daily stand-ups. B. Encourage Sandra to collaborate with the team informally. C. Ask the team to reply to her emails daily. D. Escalate to senior leadership immediately. Correct answer. A. Daily stand-ups are a core Agile practice, real-time, lightweight, and interactive. Sandra's emails miss the point of collaboration, so the Scrum Master must insist on her participation, kindly but firmly. Question 9, 1 correct answer. After multiple sprints, the team realizes that the product owner, Aisha, ignores technical debt and only focuses on features. What should the team do? A. Add technical debt stories secretly. B. Raise the issue in the next retrospective. C. Prioritize features only to meet deadlines. D. Reduce unit testing to compensate. Correct answer. B. Ignoring technical debt can destroy product quality over time. The retrospective is where the team can safely raise concerns and influence the backlog. Secret stories, A, or cutting quality, D, are not Agile. Question 10, 2 correct answers. Joseph, product owner, frequently pressures the team to commit to more work than they can complete. How should the Scrum Master respond? A. Facilitate a velocity review to show realistic capacity. B. Escalate to senior stakeholders. C. Coach Joseph on sustainable delivery and team velocity. D. Allow the team to commit beyond capacity occasionally. Correct answers, A and C. Pressure to overcommit breaks the Agile principle of sustainable pace. The Scrum Master can use data, velocity, and coaching to correct behavior. It's about education, not escalation, at least at first. Well done for staying all the way through. You've just tackled 10 high-quality scenario-based questions that reflect what it's really like in the Agile world, especially when you're dealing with a product owner who challenges the process. If today's breakdown helped you better understand team empowerment, backlog management, or how to protect your team's focus, then you're already thinking like a certified project manager. Remember, the team owns the estimates, the product owner owns the backlog, and the Scrum Master owns the process. If you found this content helpful, hit subscribe, tap the bell icon, and share this video with your study group.